Okay, good evening, Nora and Norlin, and we're still waiting for Diane today. And in this night, we have to wrap up of your materials in our last two meetings with the descriptive and the inference. We have two big points to be analyzed, like the topics and details. And the first part is talk about the descriptive for our first meeting after the midterms or the summative test one. In these topics, we learn about how to creating a chart, like a bar chart or maybe line chart and a pie chart, which is the familiar with you. And uh, I think you can create some chart with the previous data exercise in the 8.1, 8.2, and 8.3 for our exercise file. And then after learning about how to create about the chart, we also learning about the central tendency. What is the meaning of central tendency? We learn about how to measure about our data. We're learning about to find the mean. Do you remember what is the mean, Norin? It's an
Yes, Mr. Subshan.
yes, that's an
It is
average
an
of our
average
average our data.
observation.
Yeah, it's a little bit different with the median. Median is the middle value in our range of data, and the most of occurrence value is expressed in a mode. So, if we look at this graphicals, if we have the mean, median, and mode in the closest number or in the closest value, it seems like a normal distributions. That is differ with the mode or median and mean without or with the differences. Like maybe we have a skew in left like this one, or maybe skew in right. But the most of data is very good for analysis if the mean, median, and mode in the closest value. Okay. After we learn about the descriptive, we also learning about the inference. In these topics, we specifically learning about the relationships, or in statistic, we note the name like the correlations. As I noted before, the correlation is separate between -1 to 1, the value. The meaning of correlations is starting with the value of 1. The 1 is meaning of the perfect correlations, whether it's a positive one or the -1. The -1 means that there is a negative perfect correlations, and the +1 is positive perfect correlations. But if we have 0, the score, the value is 0, that is the means no correlations in our data, no connection, or maybe no strong relations between our data. Between the value of 0 and 1, sometimes you find the score like the 0.3 or 0.5 or 0.8, something like that. We also classified in the three category of correlations. Between 0 to 0.5 is classified as a weak correlations. There is a correlations between our data, but the connection is very weak. Is close to the 0, it means that your correlation is very weak. And then if our range of correlations between 0.5 to 0.8, that is the mean of the medium correlations. There is a correlations, but is rather bit strong than the weak correlations. And the last one is calculate or classify as the strong correlation if it's our score is between 0.8 to 1 or below the ones. It's very strong correlations. In our graphical, sometimes we found with this one, this pattern, there is a positive correlations from left to right. It's growing up. But if you find the graphically or the pattern is going down or slide down like this one in the middle of the picture, it's called about the negative correlations. It's also with the last point of our data is separate like this one, there is no correlations. If a strike line like the uh it's going up, it means the positive. But if the trend is going down, it means that's the negative correlation. Okay. We only have this descriptive and the correlations. And how to do it in our file, I think you have learned by yourself in individual self. But uh, in this night, I will show you about how to analyze in these Excel files. We're starting with the data 8.1, the questionnaire data. In this questionnaire data, you can at the first insight, you can creating about the lookup table like this ones. You can using the classified of the age like this one. The middle age is between below 34 or younger, and the middle age is between 34 to 59, and the elderly is over than 60 years. So if you have good classification like here, you can creating about the count if for the formula in Excel, this one. And the criteria is about the young, middle age, and elderly. You can find the count here and the percentage of the numbers. After you can create error, after you analyze using the lookup tables, like the age, the opinion in here, the strongly agree, and the neutral opinions. You also classified with the gender, like the 0 and 1 for female and male. But you need to ensure that your classifications or your presentation is completely in 100%. So there is no missing value in your data. Okay, this uh, questions in the data in 8.1, it's only containing about the 30 of observations, the 30% for observations. But how if the data is very big, like the 8.2, the supermarket data, it's closely with the 14,000 data in here. So you need to create with at the first time you need to create about the lookup table like this ones, the gender, maybe the marital status, the homeowner, and the children's. And after you have the count or the percentage, you can create about the chart. In this one or in the examples, we are familiar the name of the bar chart. Okay, and after that we have the pie chart to express about our data. And sometimes you can also find the like this one, the family products or the family uh, lookup value or family the value using the pie chart or maybe the bar charts. If you have if you go into the Excels, you can find the recommendations chart like here. Is actually recommend using the pie chart like here or the bar chart. Which one you prefers? You can use this one with the bar chart. It's very clear for the food, drink, and non-consumables. And also you can find with this pie chart like this one. And the pie chart is classifications using the data like the food, drink, is over here, and this one is non-consumables. You also change with the percentage like here, or maybe you can create with the difference value or the difference presentations. Okay, that's how to creating about the descriptive or the description of our data. In the last sessions or in the last exercise, we also have the database salaries or the baseball salaries. Like here, we found about the salaries in 2011 for the baseball player and also in 2015. And that's in classification for every position in the baseball player and the salary in every years in 2015. So for the next or in the advanced levels, you can make creating about their correlations in the data for 8.1, the questionnaires. We can take the several data like the age of our data, the gender, the children's, the salary, and the opinion to create some inference. In our second topic, inference, you need to ensure that your data is containing about the number or in a numerical number. We cannot make some data analysis in kind of text, only with a number. So you need to change about the opinion. Maybe for the disagree or strongly agree, you need to change with the number 5, 1, 3, 2, or 0. Okay. And how to do it? How to do it? Uh, we have the data analysis in the Excels like this one. In data analysis, we can make two of our analysis for descriptions and for inference using the correlations. Okay. The first part is about the descriptions. The descriptions is uh, provided by the data analysis. If you only click about the data analysis buttons, and then you can choose about the several option in our data analysis, like this ones. The data analysis is comes. We have most of data analysis like the ANOVA, the correlation. Now this one is our subject tonight, and another subject is about the descriptive statistic. Okay, we can start with the descriptive statistic. If you click this one, the descriptive statistic, you need to fill the needs of the table, like the input range. We need to uh, track about the number, the age, gender, children, salary, and opinions. It's grouped by the column. The column B, column C, column D, E, and F. But if your data representations in a row, you can change with this one. It's different to how to you present the data. Okay, because I selected using the labels in the first row, I need to click this one because I uh, click all of the data in here, include the label in the first row. Okay, we need to click about the summary of statistics to know about the descriptive, and the output range here. You need to pick some of cell to represent your data like this one. I think we need to place in H1 like this one, H1. Okay, when you click the OK buttons, this is the output of our data. We found about the kind of the age, gender. This one for the age, this one for gender. Okay, okay. I need to diverse with the different color like here. Uh, and the salary. Okay, let's start about the age. The age, we have the mean of, this is the mean for our central tendency, the median, and the modes. Okay, the mean is 42.5. So in our data, we have 30 observations. In our data, the average of age in our observation is 42.5 years old. Yeah. So this is still classified in the closest to the median and mode. The median is 40 years old. Okay. And the modes, the most age that occur in our data is 48. Okay. It's similar to the gender. The gender, we have the mean of 0.6. It means that if one is representing about the male, we have 60% of male observations, and the rest is 40% of female. Is it clear, Noreen? Nora? Okay. This is the meaning of mean, and the median. The median of data is also in the mode number one. The one is for male category. Okay. The children is severals. We have mean, median, and modes. This is the kind of continuous number, but to express the decisions, we need the discrete number because the children could be in a continuous. If we found about the mean 1.4, it means the children is in our sample having one child. We can classify 1.5 child or 1.4 child. There's only one child or maybe two child. Forget it about the number after the decimals, okay? Because this is the discrete, not in continuous. It's different with the salary. We can calculate about the continuous number, okay? And also with the opinion is mean in 2.9. It's separate between number 1 to number 5. So the mean is 2.9 is closest to our median 3. The difference only 0.1. Okay. This is how to we express about the data descriptive. Yeah. Any questions, Norlin or Diane? How to express about the descriptive analysis?
None so far, Mr. Sepchen.
Okay, thank you for responding. How about you, Diane? Oh, it's coming out from the Zooms.
Sepertinya internetnya sangat bermasalah deh, Pak.
Yeah.
Ini sedang
Okay.
berusaha untuk masuk. Iya.
Diane is message me about the unstable internet connections. Okay, no problems. Okay, next, after we doing about the descriptive analysis, we also creating about the correlation analysis, or maybe with in our topics name the inference. The correlation is very tendentious, like the previous analysis. We need to input range. We need to take over all of our variables, the age, gender, children, salary, and the opinions here. Because I include the label in the first law, I need to click this one, and the output will be placed in below of this data. Okay. Then this is the score. Okay. Look at the correlations between the gender and age. The gender is not is having the weak correlations. Remember that our classification in here we have the correlation of weak if your score is between 0 to 0.5. And then for medium, if between 0.5 to 0.8, and over then you have a strong correlations. In our data, sorry, here we only have 0.04, so it will be concluded as the weak correlations. Yeah, between the children and age, it's still weak correlations. This is still weak correlations. Most of this is still weak correlations. This is the meaning of about this about the gender and age. It is still correlate, but it's not a good correlations. We cannot conclude that the male is positive. It's positive. It means that the male is means that this is more old, is older than the female. It's not something like that. And the children is minus. Minus, it means that if your age is growing old, your children is uh, maybe in the few number. The old you and the is you have the less of the children. Maybe in the age of 40, the children is only one. In the early of 30, the children maybe in three or four. So that is the meaning of the minus. But for this data, we cannot find about the strong correlations between the age, gender, children, salary, and also the opinion. That is comes from the data number one, the 8.1. And the data X.2, it's still similar with the 8.1. But we need to transform first. Okay, like this one, we have the notation of gender, female and male. Okay, but you need to classify or transform using with the number. Please remember that our data analysis, it could be expressed, could be executed in a number category, not in this text like this one. Female, male, single, married, yes or no. You need to classify like here using the if conditions. For example, in here, if the logical value here is F, it means female. Female is classified as 0, but is this is not F, or maybe it's in the M or male, it's actually in number 1. So we need to create only the first row, and then you can drag over here. Okay. Then after you transform the data here, I'm sorry, I missed this one. The product family. The classification is only making some comparison in our last meetings. The comparison is between one or two category. So if we find three category like here, how we find the category? You only creating or click about the filter in here. Now you can find about the category is not only two. We have three category: drink, food, and non-consumable. So if you have more than two category, you need to separate your analysis like this one. This is the separations or analysis between the product family in food and drink. We need to compare food and non-consumable, and in the rest, we need to compare about non-consumable and a drink. So the free position is only for non-consumable, but it's depend on you. You can creating 0 for drink or 0 for food. That is okay. But if you have more than two, you need to separate your analysis. Okay. This one is product family for food. It expressed that food is could be number 1, and the 0 is the rest of our data. And if you sentence here like the drink should be code as number 1. It's like the coding activity. Okay. After this ones, you also have coding about the home owner, like the yes and no, and also the unit sold and revenue. And after this one, you also make some analysis like before, using the descriptive analysis and using the relationship analysis or correlation analysis. I will show you first about the analysis, and you can try by yourself in your home. But let me ensure that you are ready or you are okay. And maybe if you have any questions, you can message me or email me about the difficulties. We start about the descriptive statistic. The descriptive statistic is comparing data in the gender, okay, like here, the gender to our revenue. Yeah. And the output I will place in H1. If you have lots of data, maybe in thousand or maybe in like this data is 14,000, it could be longer for analysis. So the big data is it could be more time for analysis. Look at here. This is our output or our expressions. The data is counting as 14,000. 14,059. And this one for the genders, we have the mean below 0 0.5. It means that the dominations in a male is also we found in here 49% of male and sorry 49% of male and 51% of female in our data. And the marital status is married is 48% and the rest is single. Also with the homeowner is 60% that's having the homeowner and the rest is there is no homeowner. The children's in average is 2 or 2.5, two children's.
Two
Yeah,
children.
the product family, sorry, the product foods is 22% is the chosen by the our sample is in the food products and 8.8% in the drink product. So if you have this data, you only found that the 80% of data is for product family is only for food and drink. How 80%? It's come for 72% of the food and 8% of drink. The calculation is around 80%. So the 20% is for the non-consumable family product, like maybe for tissue, plastics, and anything like this one. Okay. That is how to make some analysis using the descriptive. Similar to the correlations, we also make some exercise for correlations here. You need to uh, block of this data and the output is placed maybe over here and the answer is similar with the previous analysis in the descriptive. So we found no strong correlations. It's still weak correlations between the gender, the maritals, the children, the product food, product ring, unit sold, or maybe in the revenue. No strong correlations. The highest correlation in here. This is the highest score, but it's still weak correlations between the homeowner and marital status. What is the meaning about this high score of the correlations? It means that if someone have the married change the marital status of if someone married, it means that they needs to create a home or they needs to buy some home. Yeah. Is it clear for Norlin or Diane or Nora? Yeah. Okay. Then we can move about the 8.3. In the 8.3, we have the difference analysis. I classified about the two kind of analysis. The first analysis is about comparison between the salary in 2011 and 2015. Yeah. But remember, this one is not in a dependent person. We found a G. Barnett in the first row. We found E.J. Ellis in the second row. But in the next row, we have different people. Pierzynski and this one is Griffin. Pierzynski in here. So the Griffin is not included in 2011. So we have independent peoples. Okay. How we analyzed about this data, we can compare about salary in 2011 and 2015. But you need to post your data very close. We need to take out about the player name like here. You can delete the data and then we have the separation about the salary and salary 2011 and 2015. Okay, in the data analysis, we can make some analysis like the correlations. Okay, what is the correlations? The correlations between the salary in 2011 and 2015. Is it correlate or not? You can see in here. There is no strong correlation, it's still weak correlations. So if you have salary in 2011, it doesn't mean that you have the same salary or equal salary in 2015. This is the first analysis about the correlations. The next analysis, maybe we will learn in the 2 or 3 the next meetings. But you can make here that we have two samples for the equal variance or unequal variance for the next meeting. Okay, this is the analysis about comparison in the salary. The next is how we can compare the salary in every positions, baseball positions. Like this one, this is the salary for catcher and center fielder, the hitter, the first baseman, the left fielder, pitcher, right fielder, and others. Now, how to compare if we have more than two? It's easy then if you have only two observations before and after. That is very easy. But how about is over than two? So I will show you that we have an ANOVA, analysis of variance. This is applicates for more than two observations. For instance, we like this one. We need to create all of these inputs. Okay, we are separate in the columns. Let's also label in the first row, and then the output range we place here, L number ones. So you can find about this one. Okay, this is the score about the analysis of variance between our data. The variance is different. The average is also different. But for the critical value means everything. We can find about the F value more than 2 or the P value is very, very tiny. It means that there is a differences in the salary between every positions. So it could be a reason that why the salary in the position as the catcher is differ with the center fielder, the sun hitter, the first baseman, and other up to the third baseman. Okay. If you find about the average, you can find here that the highest salary in here, the sign hitter. It's almost is the most salary by the baseball player in our data in 2015. So this is the advanced analysis when you find a comparison of data more than two observations. We cannot we not only have two data for comparison. Sometimes we only have two comparisons, pre or post, before and after. But how if your data more than two? You can use about the ANOVA. Okay. I think that's the critical value for our wrap up material for description and inference. You may any questions for Norlin or maybe Nora? None so far. Okay. I hope.
I don't have any question.
Okay. But if you find some difficulties in your step by step of analysis, you can emails me. Okay. Okay, there is all of the material that should be delivered today tonight, and I hope we have the good time for individual exercise, especially for Norlins, because you are scored in here, yeah, for our meetings, and I need to ensure that you are ready, or if you you are doesn't have any difficulties. So if you find some any questions maybe, or maybe, sir, I cannot analyze this in here, or maybe can you help me for make some advanced analysis, you can message me or you can ask me. And before I close the uh, meetings tonight, I will show you about your summative test score. After repeating your recordings between you and Diane's, uh, this is for the score of your summative test ones. I scored you about the factor from the informativeness about your delivery, your analysis about your fintech informations, your references, your deliverance, and your time management. And you have the different topics. Diane using the fintech solutions, and you, Norlin, using the fintech innovations. uh, at the last your score is equals, but I have the differences in the informativeness and deliverance. You are good in deliverance, Nolin. I think you maybe you know so much, or you have good knowledge about your innovations, but in very kind the lots of informations, Diane is better than you, because they represents a lot of comparisons in the Philippines and also in Indonesia. So I think they have the great score in informativeness, and you are having the great point in the deliverance. In other of point analysis, I think you are equals in references, the analysis, and also with the time management. You are very good, and both of you have the clear deliverance. I think
Thank you, Mr.
you're welcome. But we still have the last summative test after we finish about the data analysis, and it's talk about how to analyze about the data. So I need you to make some individual assessment, or sorry, individual exercise. So in the day of your exams, you can do it clearly without no any questions or maybe any difficulties. Okay, thank you for joining the class tonight for Nora and Norlins. I will see you again in the next Tuesday. The next Tuesday. Okay. See you.
Can I
Yeah.
have a copy of the PowerPoint
Yeah.
presentation?
Okay.
Our last.
Uh, okay. I will send you the presentations and also with the recording of our meetings. Thank you for asking for me.
Thank you.
Okay.
Terima
Good
kasih
night.
Pak Bayu. Thank you
Yeah.
everyone.
Terima kasih. Thank you everyone. Good night.